Assalamualaikum, students and friends. Today's episode is an enrichment lesson of a past upload titled Mutual and Self-Inductance. It focuses on computing the mutual inductance of two adjacent coils and the total magnetic flux in the second coil given the changing current and the rate of change of current in the first coil, as well as the induced EMF in the second coil. So just stick around, watch and learn. Here's the question. A long solenoid, that's coil 1, is surrounded at its center by a shorter coil, or coil 2, as shown in the following figure. At an instant when the current in coil 1 is 24.0 amperes and increasing at the rate of 2.00 amperes per second, the induced EMF in coil 2 is 1.30 raised to the negative 4 power volts. Question letter A. What is the mutual inductance of the two coils? And question letter B. At this instant, what is the total magnetic flux through all the turns or windings of coil 2 due to the current in coil 1? We are applying the concept of mutual inductance. That is, when the current in a coil changes, it causes a changing magnetic flux and hence an induced electromotive force or EMF in an adjacent coil. The mutual inductance of the two coils determines how much EMF is induced in one coil for a given rate of change of the current in the other coil. For our solution, we first identify the given data and the target variables. The rate of change of the current in coil 1, or the solenoid, denoted by d sub 1 or I1 over d sub t, is equal to 2.00 ampere per second. All right, the changing current in coil 1 at a given instant, denoted by small letter I sub 1, is equal to 24.0 ampere. And the induced EMF in coil number 2, denoted by the Greek letter epsilon, is equal to negative 1.30 raised to the negative 4 volts. The negative sign reflects Lenz's law, which states that the change in the magnetic flux in coil number 2 is opposed by the action that causes the change. In other words, the fact that the current in coil number 1 is changing, all right? So it resulted to a changing magnetic flux and hence an induced EMF, all right? Equal to negative 1.30 raised to the negative 4 volts. And the target variables are for letter A, the mutual inductance represented by capital M. When you say mutual, this is the inductance for the two coils already. And In part B, all right, the other target variables is the total magnetic flux through all the turns or windings in coil number 2 as a result of the changing current in coil number 1. And we denote that here by the Greek letter phi sub B2. So moving on now to our computations. All right. For question letter A, finding the mutual inductance, capital M, all right, is actually based on this equation. Epsilon is equal to negative capital M multiplied by d sub I1 over d sub t, right? So this means that the induced EMF epsilon, this is in coil number 2, is just equal to the mutual inductance, all right, represented by capital M, times the rate of change of current in coil number 1. This equation suggests that the induced EMF through coil number 2, okay, for the same mutual inductance, capital M, all right, is in fact proportional to the rate of change of current in coil number 1, and not necessarily on the magnitude of the changing current. All right, take note of that. It is the rate of change of the changing current, okay, that determines the amount of the changing magnetic flux, and hence the amount of the electromotive force or EMF produced, all right, in coil number 2. So, since what we are required to find is the mutual inductance, capital M, so we just isolate capital M and come up with this working equation. M equals negative epsilon divided by d sub I1 over d sub t. And when we substitute the given values, we have capital M equal to negative quantity negative 1.30 raised to the negative 4 volts divided by 2.00 ampere per second. All right. So when you do our math, all right, we have the value for the mutual inductance, capital M, equal to 6.50 raised to the negative 5 volt second per ampere, right? Which, of course, is the same as 6.50 raised to the negative 5 Henry. Henry being equivalent to volt second per ampere, all right? Henry is the SI unit for inductance. And similarly for question letter B, all right, we're looking for the total magnetic flux through coil number 2. That means the magnetic flux, not just in a single winding or turn, but in all windings of coil number 2. And that is simply equal to the product of the mutual inductance that we just calculated in part A multiplied by the changing current in coil number 1. So substituting, we get the value of the computed M equal to 6.50 raised to the negative 5 volts second over ampere times small letter I sub 1, which is 24.0 amperes. All right? So instead of Henry, we use the equivalent unit for inductance, which is volt second per ampere, right? Which tells us that the unit ampere gets cancelled, and we will arrive the value of the total magnetic flux, P sub B2 equal to 1.56 times 10 to the negative 3 Weber. All right? Volt second is the same as Weber, which is the SI unit for magnetic flux. So, this computed value for the P sub B2 is the total magnetic flux, okay, that is induced in coil number 2 as a result of the changing current in coil number 1. So that ends our lesson for this topic. Till the next episode. Mabuhay. Masya Allah. Thank you very much for your indulgence. Alhamdulillah. Please follow me in my FB page, Watch and Learn. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, just click here